Are you looking for a great free-to-play game? A game with no pay to win?
According to my calculations, it says that you're,
A community that makes other games wish they actually had one? And a game where you can play solo or co-op. A grind for everything and completely free with amazing story and also gameplay variety, and one that is constantly getting updates every few months and so. Well, then Warframe is the game for you. But wait, before you actually click away thinking I'm just glazing on this game, which I'm definitely not biased about, no, but I'm just tipsy, so let me tell you why you should actually try out Warframe, so hear me out. And the best part, the game is free, so why don't give it a try, and if you don't get addicted to it as many other people do, then you haven't lost anything as the game was free. You can farm everything inside the game without spending a single dollar, and trust me, this game is not small by any means either. There's a lot of content to look out for. So let's have a quick look, shall we? We got motorcycles, we got horses, we got mass murdering machines, we even got like Mario Kart in the game and a spaceship combat. There's big quests, there's big swords, and there's even fashion. Well, some people do have fashion. And that's just a fraction of some of the things you can actually do in this free-to-play game called Warframe, which I highly recommend. Thumbs up. So if you ever wanted to have a power fantasy destroying endless waves of enemies, being known as the god of slaughter basically, while looking absolutely fabulous while doing it, this is the game for you. And here's the kicker, Warframe has a huge amount of content that is constantly getting updated with new Warframes, weapons, quests and areas to explore. It is like a living universe and I highly recommend you actually take a dive into it. It isn't just your normal looter shooter game that you can find anywhere else on the internet basically, and you will actually be able to have a lot of extra things to do in this game. You can play as a Warframe, ancient warrior, basically awakened in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars, I don't know, something like that. The lore, you will probably not know what is going on half the time, as it is just epic and awesome and I don't know, words for it, something, bang bang. But here's also a thing, Warframe is actually built around movement. You can glide through the air, you can teleport around with powers, float around, you can even fly, like you have motorcycles if you wanted to do that and spacecraft and stuff like that. Or even just if you want to be a big ball like this, going like ping pong around the area, killing enemies while doing so. But to be honest, it actually has some of the best movement mechanics which I've tried, something very few games actually achieve to this date at least. And of course, this is just some of what actually makes Warframe so special. And of course, this game isn't just your one genre either. It is part shooter, part RPG, part stealth, part open world, and even has a dating simulator in the game. You can date the different things in the game, like what? But every part of Warframe is uniquely Warframe, with each frame offering different playstyles, stories to unfold, plus a huge variety of customization and fashion to even decorate and making everything feel personal to a point. And that's basically just scratching the surface of the game. And Digital Extreme, the people actually making Warframe, also very much listens to the communities and the players, which is kind of rare in gaming these days. The game really reflects that, as regular Q&As, feedback threads and even in-game events happens quite frequently. In this case, the Warframe developers are just as much Warframe players just like any other tenno out there, which is honestly pretty amazing looking at this. But of course I can't just keep glorifying Warframe even if that is what I wanted to do, because then this video would make no sense at all. Or maybe it would, I don't know. But yes, as amazing as Warframe sound, it does have its issues here and there, like any other game does of course. With Warframe being over 10 years old, having so much content and a huge player base, it is almost impossible if there was not any issues. Though compared to the life of Warframe, these issues are actually very minor and not like certain other games that actually has some sunset ideas. Yeah. One of the issues that would probably be prompted a lot if you ask people would be the new player experience, or just how hard it is to get into Warframe, as the game does have so much content and it is very much not like any other games out there. So you would likely not know how everything works off the bat. Maybe if you have played some other similar games you would have an idea, but still. The game has so much content and it can be kind of hard getting your brain about it without like basically exploding. Like, what is modding, which was a question for a lot of years, but now we kind of do have a mission in game that will actually explain it, which is great, as we are getting updates and some of these things are getting fixed. So huge props to Digital Extreme for that. So we might even see more new quests, which will help newer players get into certain aspects of the game and mechanics, and you will be introduced to them earlier in the game. It is not everything is at the end of the game, we're even getting content from the beginning of the game. But overall, the game is full of content, so if you're not afraid of some learning curve, this should actually be no issue at all for you. Another issue I would bring up here is also the crafting timers on items and frames, as it is a free-to-play game, and this is a mechanic from the very early beginnings of the game, which haven't changed much. But when, let's say, crafting a new frame in the game, which you have farmed for completely for free, and you can then craft her, you will then have to wait 72 hours before you can actually use that frame, and this is is an issue for many new players, as I can see that being problematic, though it is a free-to-play game, but still. While most weapons in the game have a 12 to 24 hours crafting timer, things do take a little while to craft in the game. So patience is something you probably should have, and I would not recommend rushing your items because there's so many items in the game that you don't really feel it after some time actually. As this is actually not much of an issue as you get further into the game, as you start to have so many different things crafting in your fondery at all times, so you could basically have new stuff being done every day and you will not really feel the crafting timer as much, other when you have gotten a weapon you really want to try right now. You just have to think, okay, I can try it tomorrow instead maybe. There is the thing where you can rush the items, so basically skip the crafting timer to be done instantly instead with the premium currency called Platinum. And heads up, this premium currency can be farmed in game without spending a single dime, so you can farm for this if you want to, but don't let it scare you away from the game. While you wait for your next frame, set or items, just keep stacking new things into your crafting table so you'll be able to only wait for the first stuff, and then afterwards new stuff is ready every day or multiple times a day maybe if you keep actually gathering new stuff all the time. But then again, it is a free-to-play game and this mechanic is seen in a lot of other free-to-play games with like rushing timers and spending premium currency to basically speed up your crafting time and stuff like this. But it is not like a hard wall, I would say. So now, while we have touched a bit about the learning curve and some of the issues, there's also a bit of complexity to the game, which can be for some seen as a giant plus of course, but for others this could also be seen as a negative. So with how big and everything and all of the mechanics of the game, this side of the game is more on how it floats your boat, I guess. But for such a big game like Warframe and also being free to play, why not give it a chance after listening to my totally unbiased voice here. And if you do encounter troubles in the game and don't know where to go next, just take a look at my channel and you should probably find the answer there to your questions. Otherwise, the community is a great place to ask for help, or even our Discord server as well, which I will leave a link down below to. And if you do decide you want to start Warframe, let me give you just a few pointers to start out, so you get an idea of the main loop early on until you actually get into the mid-game area. Also, if you do use the code down below to sign up and make your account, you do get a free XP booster for your first week of playing, which will help you level up your weapons and frames a little bit quicker overall. So as you start out on a fresh account in Warframe, you are basically locked to one planet and you will have to do missions on that planet to gain access to missions further away from you. And there's also the main quest line to follow, which should take you along the way, basically doing missions here and there, and also some story special missions around the area. But as you progress your planet, you can try clicking on this thing called junctions, and these are basically your goals for the current planet. Completing these goals will allow you to fight the planet's spectre and unlock the next planets as you go. It is basically the gateway between the different planets, and once you have unlocked them, you can now freely travel between them. So the main loop in the early game is actually just unlocking the planets and areas early on, so clearing the nodes on the planets and actually getting access to other planets while doing your junction goals, basically get access to new planets to explore the full star chart, while doing your main missions and completing stuff to get access to new mechanics. So while you're doing this, of course remember your main quest, and it is fairly important and will unlock some very fundamental mechanics for your Warframe and gameplay experience while you're doing it. Also, I know there's probably some of you veteran players out there watching right now, so if you got any tips for new players, feel free to throw them in the comments down below, which might be useful for a new player looking to join Warframe cult. Oh yeah, we are definitely not a cult, not at all. And that's it for the video, so hopefully you actually enjoyed this video and found something useful for your Warframe journey, and maybe you even actually decided to pick up Warframe from this video. So let me know down below if you actually started playing Warframe from this video, which would be actually pretty cool. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and if you want more Warframe tips, don't forget to like and subscribe for future content, and be sure to check out my other Warframe videos for even more guides and tips, and I might also have some Soulframe maybe. And also a big thanks to anyone who supports me on my Patreon, and that actually helps me fund my daily chicken sausage roll, which are these guys here, which are thank you. We also do have a Discord server, so hop in there and become part of the community. Stay tuned, stay tipsy, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.